Quintez Williams. Welcome to the Class of Life. First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody for the feedback they gave me about my introduction video. Thank you for all of that. I will keep it the same, of course, but I am looking to make more changes, make things better. With that being said, I'm going to get right into the subject matter, risk versus reward. First of all, let's talk about what a risk is. A risk is exposure to danger, harm, or loss of something important or valuable. What is a reward? That's what you receive for your service, your effort, or your achievements. Now, there are certain risks that we take on a daily basis just because we live in a world where you have to take risks. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm not talking about those things. I'm strictly going to be talking about the risks that you should not take. Now, let's talk about the risks you wouldn't take. If I asked you to set yourself on fire, even though people have done that, most people say no. That's a bad idea. Obviously, don't set yourself on fire. If I asked you to eat some Tide Pods, that's also a horrible idea. Don't know why anybody would do that. If I asked you to get into a lion's den because the lions are tame, most people would still say no. Nobody wants to take that risk. Who wants to be eaten by lions? Anyways, those are obvious things. And we're quick to say no to things like that, and that makes sense. I would too. But what we're not quick to say no to things like is texting and driving, running a red light, cheating on our spouse. Things like this we do on a daily basis. Hopefully nobody's cheating on a daily basis, but whatever. I really think that people should think more before they make a decision. You really need to you should think about the reward and the risk, which is why this video is called Risk versus Reward. Think about, is this risk worth taking? Why am I taking this risk? Is this red light worth running? I could lose my life running this red light, but is it worth it? In most cases, no. You should never take that risk, in my opinion. Texting and driving. A lot of people like to text and drive. Why are you taking that risk? This plays a large part in your decision making. Those risks can cost you your life. They can cause you your loved one, someone that you've probably been with for a long time, which can cause you depression, cause you all kinds of things. Why are we taking these risks? And when you think about the decisions you make, the first thing you think about is the risk that you're taking. Why am I taking this risk? For what reason? What is the reward for me taking this risk? There are people who take risks for good reasons. Obviously, you have firefighters, you have our soldiers, you have people who do good things, and they have to risk themselves, their lives, and things that they care about in order to reap the rewards, which is in some cases our safety, which is I really appreciate that. Hopefully everyone else does. This is the main thing about making good decisions, and it plays a large factor in making good decisions. As I've said before, you have to think about every risk that you take. Every risk. This is going to be the number one thing you use to make good decisions. And sometimes we get in a normalcy of taking risk when we shouldn't. We shouldn't become complacent with texting and driving. We shouldn't become complacent with speeding, running red lights. They're cheating, lying. I mean, you take a lot of risks. We take a lot of risks that we should not have to take. I'm guilty of taking some of those risks myself, and I try to do better thinking about it, keeping focused, and doing the right thing. I don't want no speeding tickets. I definitely don't want to be in no car wreck. If I ever get, if I'm in a relationship, I don't want that person to resent me or lose someone that I truly care about simply because of one moment of that doesn't even make sense to me. Why would I spend one moment for someone that I've been with for 3, 4, 5 years? It's something I never understood, but people do it anyway. And some people feel like there's no risk there. If you feel like you're not taking a risk doing these things, then would have to learn the hard way, which hopefully that never happens. I don't want anyone to learn the hard way, which is the reason why I make these videos. Um, Stop taking bad risk. And this bad risk, this is in my opinion, risks that have no rewards. There's no reward for you running a red light. You get about, 2 seconds off your trip. There's no reward for you cheating on your spouse. What you enjoy one night with someone else, there's no reward for these things. And we make a lot of decisions like that. These are common ones that I'm talking about that people make in life for some odd reason on a regular basis. Don't risk your life to send a text message. Don't risk your life to prove a point. It's not worth it. Um, that's the first thing. And you could be injured for life. There's a lot of people who, I mean, smoking is a risk. Now it's a risk that usually takes a long time for the danger to come into play, but it's still a risk that somebody should stop. You should stop doing that. You're playing with your life, and you don't need to. This goes with any decision that you're gonna make that has high risk with no rewards. I don't see why we take these risks. Um, trying to make that, trying to make, you see another car coming, you about to make a turn, you think you can make it in time. Why can't you just wait the 2 seconds or the 3 seconds? It's fine. I guarantee you, if you're late to where you're gonna be, you still gonna be late, and that's okay because you still gonna have your life too. So, um, apply this to everything. Everything. Should I go out to this party where I know there's going to be bad people. They have a history of fighting or shooting or hurting people. Is there a place you should go to? You're increasing your risk, and for no reason at all. What's the reward? You're going to have some fun and have some drinks? Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. And this is how you start making good decisions. Stop taking risks that reap no rewards or little rewards. That is the first step in making good decisions. Always look at your risk before you make a decision. Always. Never think about the reward first. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and do the things you want to do. Obviously you should. There are some risks that you have to take, and that's just the way it is. But think about your risk when you take them and why you're taking them. It makes sense, in my opinion, to think about your risk before you take them. There's not much else that should be said here, but obviously this has been an issue. We got commercials about texting and driving. We got commercials about drinking and driving. These are things that should be well known already. Why do people need to even say anything in these cases? But this goes throughout your entire life and everything that you do. Don't take any risk that does not reap a decent reward. It just don't make no sense. Some people go through dangerous times to get the things that they need and want. Some people they may want to be a crab fisher or the deadliest catch. That is an extremely dangerous job. I don't think it's worth it, but they get paid very handsomely, and guess what? I guess people really want crab that bad. But if that's the type of job you want to take on, I completely understand. But it's a job. It's a dangerous one, but hey, if you want to do something like that, I understand that's a job decision, but taking on dangerous decisions throughout your daily life and becoming accustomed to them is the issue here. You cannot get accustomed to texting and driving because nothing's happened yet. You can't get accustomed to making that red light because, well, ain't nothing happened yet. You can't get accustomed to going to bad places because, well, ain't nothing happened yet. That's how you end up in a situation where you see the risk when you don't want to see the risk. So, mainly, always think about your risk in every decision that you make. Is there risk? What is the reward? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And is it okay? I'm not asking you to think about things like, why am I going to the store to get groceries? We know why. You got to eat, obviously. But why am I running this red light? That's probably something you should ask yourself. It's okay to talk to yourself. It does not make you crazy. But it's okay. It's okay to ask yourself, should I be doing this? Is there something better I could do? Can I be patient on the road? Can I be patient in my relationship? Can I be patient when I want to go out and have fun? Go out and have fun. Go to the movies, go do your thing. But do not, if it's dangerous, think twice, 3 times about it if you have to. But if you don't do that, you'll quickly make a bad decision, especially when you get used to things. And we get used to making bad decisions. And I am also a victim of that. I get used to making bad decisions, and then you constantly make it over and over. And when that risk actually, when you see that risk, the problem comes, you get in a car wreck or you get hurt, then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have been there. Well, it's too late now. So think about every risk that you take especially when you're making your decisions on what you do throughout your entire life. And I understand that some you have to take and some you do not. In most of the ones I'm talking about risks that you do not have to take. And this does not only apply to driving or cheating or relationships. It applies to everything in your life. Those are just examples of things that we do that we become accustomed to risk, taking those risks. Don't do that. Think about all of the risks that you take before you take them. Yeah, like it if you like it. Subscribe if you like. Uh, don't like it if you don't like it. But most importantly, I would like for you to share this information. Thank you, and you guys enjoy your night.